Hello everyone. So welcome to the part 3.2 in Advanced UiPath Document Understanding. So in this session, we'll focus on the second part of the data extraction, where we'll be using the Form Extractor to extract some fields uh, from certain documents. So this will include extracting uh, a table and extracting different fields that are in different locations of the document. So to continue, we'll get back to the studio from where we left off from our previous discussion. So just to give you an idea about what we discussed previously, in our previous uh, sessions we created a workflow that actually creates the taxonomy, the digitization, and then we talked about classification, and then we talked about document classification action, and we also talked about how to invoke different processors based on the classification result to organize the process documents. And then we spoke about the machine learning extractor and the use of AI models that we have published in AI Fabric. So in today's video, we will mainly focus on the form extractor. So I'm going to use two of the documents that we used earlier, which is the form 10K and form 4. So again, these are publicly available details. So let me show you what we are trying to do. So this is the form 10K. In this documents, uh, I want to extract the name of the company, which you see over here, and in the second page I have a consolidated balance sheet which I need to extract. So I'll be using the form extractor to extract this table so that I can show you how we can create a template to actually extract any table based on the document that you are going to process. And additionally, I'm going to show how to add different rows in the same table we create in the template. So we'll talk about that later. And in this document, I'm going to show you how we can extract few data elements. So I'm not going to go with the form extractor for this entire document. I'll be extracting a couple of fields. So I'll be extracting the name portion over here, the address. So this address is a special case. Here we see the address has two parts. We'll see how to extract that, and the name and the date. The rest of this table and what we see over in this section, we'll talk about that in our next video on regex. So in regex, we'll see how to extract data of a table and special scenarios like this. So for today's discussion, we'll focus on this stuff. So getting back to the studio, we already have three extractors. So I'm going to use the form extractor for this case, and I'll be placing it somewhere over here inside the data extraction scope. So as soon as you place it over here, you can see the endpoint. So this is the endpoint that the form extractor will be using to do its extraction. And as you remember, I'm using the enterprise trial version. So the document understanding, the API key will not work for this URL. So in that case, I need to change this to the enterprise version. So click over here, get to endpoint, and you got to change your URL with the addition. So all you need to do is click over here and type this part, followed by a question mark. We have to say addition equals enterprise. And if you actually try this URL in your browser, this will give you a result something like this. So this basically means that endpoint is working and the request that you did is successful. So use this and click on OK. And the next one is the API key. So as we discussed in our previous videos, we are getting the API key from the orchestrator asset that we have created, and this variable is of type secure string, and we need to convert that to a string. So in our machine learning extractors, we have done that, and we are going to use the same uh, code over there and copy it in the API key so that I won't need to look into that again. But still, you see a warning over here. What it says is there are no configured templates. So we are right now going to configure a template for the balance sheet that we saw in the Form 10K. So we'll do that now. So what you need to do is you need to click on Manage Templates, and you will get a screen like this. You just need to click on Create Template, and from here you need to select the document type. And from where are we getting these document types? Is from the taxonomy that we created in the very first video. So we are going to first create the template for Form 10K. So I'll be selecting the Form 10K, and I need to provide a template name. So I'll just say Form 10K template, and the next thing is I need to select a template document from the documents that we are processing. Then it says if it's better if it's a native PDF file, just to improve the accuracy. So we'll select one. So I have the two files separately in this folder because in this video we'll be only focusing on these two files. And I will select Form 10K. So let me close this just in case. So it's Form 10K, open, and here I have the only page OCR which I'm using, and this stuff I will not do any change, and I will not force apply OCR because this is a native PDF file. So we'll see how it works, and click on configure. It will digitize the document in the background, and you will get a message like this along with the template manager. So basically what it says is for every page that we are processing, we need to provide minimum five words where it can identify that page uniquely from the document, and there are a few other instructions that you can read and follow. Okay, so we'll click on OK. So in this document, as you see, we have 14 pages. In the first page we have the name which we are looking at, and in the second page we have the balance sheet that we need to extract, and in third page and fourth page we have different other data. but we are only interested in page 1 and 2. So similarly, for the same number of pages we have in the document, on your left hand side panel, we have several sections that ask for matching info for each and every page up until page 14. So we are not providing all the information for all the pages. We will only provide the details for the 2 pages that we need to process. So from page 1, we want to get the name. So we'll see what kind of information we can extract for page 1 matching info. So the unique identifier would be obviously the form 10K, and this type of details we can extract. So all you need to do is you can press on the control button and keep it pressing, and using your mouse you can left click on the uh, words that you can identify as unique for the page. So I highlighted more than 5, and you just need to click on this plus sign and it will extract that values to page 1 matching info. And going to the page 2, from this one I will not use the company name because it will differ from company to company. I will use this second line, consolidated balance sheet in thousands except share, and yeah, I will not use this. I think this would be enough, in thousands, and I will add it to this section. And page 3 and 4, we are not interested in that, so I will ignore. Coming back to page 1, if you scroll down on the left hand side panel, there is a part where it asks for the company name. So from where are we getting these fields is from the taxonomy that we created. So for company name, and this company, we don't know how many words we'll have in a company. It could be 2, it could be 4, it can be more than that. We are not sure. So just we cannot select the words just like we did for this matching info. We need to provide a region to so that whatever the company name that fits in that region, it will pick up. So the best thing would be get over here and highlight a region where I can possibly have the company name. So I will provide this region is to be. I would select from somewhere over here and take this as the possible area where we can find the the company name. So I will, from these two, if you select tokens, it will look at the words as highlighted in the screen. But if you select the custom area, it will look at that area itself to identify the words in that area. So I'll select custom area and it's highlighted, and I will click on this plus sign again to extract that region. So for this you won't see the value extracted as you saw from the matching info. You will see the custom selection. And next is the balance sheet. So now we need to create a table to extract these details. How we should do that? So in my case, I need to get the 2020 and 2019 as the current year and the previous year, because I would not know what year we are processing. If we get a document that was published last year, the year will be different. So I need to extract these two values as well. So what you can do is you can get here in this balance sheet, and once you click on it, it will show you the columns that we are expecting. So by default, this will generate us a data table once we extract the values, because it's already a table. So in this data table, the column names are already balance sheet item, current year, and the previous year. So we won't be able to change the title of this column to 2020 and 2019. So what we should do is, we should figure out a way so that we know the current year has a row that says 2020, and the previous year column has a row that says it's 2019. So how to create that table? We are not going to add row by row. Well, highlight a region. So we click on this, create new table. So how we should provide the region is, you just need to click on this BL sheet, and once you get this pop-up, click on these three dots and select extract new table. So we have a couple of options here, but we just need to extract the table. So click on that and you'll get a pointer something like this. So I will start from the right hand side, because we need to get the 2 years as well. So I will include that as well in my table, and I will ignore as of January 31st. So I will start giving the region as you see here, and let go. So now we have highlighted the table, and we have a couple of options down here. So what's highlighted here is auto detect my mouse movements, which means based on how I move my mouse within this highlighted region, it will detect whether I'm looking for a column or whether I'm looking for a row. So as you see here, if I move the pointer up and down, you will see a line moving along with my cursor, which is the row separator. But if I slide the mouse horizontally, you can see that line changing as a horizontal line, sorry, a vertical line, where we can identify the columns. Or else we can do the same thing with these two options. If you select vertical line, it will give you a vertical line, and if you select horizontal, it will give that line. So I will go ahead with auto detect because that's easy. And over here I now need to provide the columns. So the first easy separation is this. I will click on where I need to break the column, and again from here. So we have 3 columns as we need. So we have, now we can provide the, we can assign each column to the field that we are looking at. So the first column is balance sheet item. Second one is the current year. This is the previous year. Now we need to provide the rows. So based on my mouse movement, it will identify. So all you need to do is, you need to, just like you specify the columns, you need to specify from where each row is getting separated. So I will select the first row from here, the second, and like this I need to specify each column, sorry, each row. So what we are basically doing is, we are building the template for this table. So this usually takes some time, but when it comes to data extraction, it's quite easy. So I do the same thing for the rest of the rows. And so over here we have rows that span across multiple lines. So for this cell, I will include that entire row and do the same thing for what we see over here, so that it should extract this entire string in one row. And so we are at the very end, and this is my last row. Okay, so I can also specify whether I need to extract the header or not. So I will mark it as I need to extract. But remember, um, I won't be extracting, even though you mark the extract header. That doesn't mean that you extract 2020 and 2019. So since you have marked the table, so we'll just click on save and close. Uh, oh, sorry. Oh, so before clicking on save and close, you need to select save new table. Now you get the list of rows along with the custom selection. So if you actually select one row over here, this custom selection, it highlights which field that it's looking at. And this is looking at this field, and this is this, and likewise. But can we see any row that actually extracts 2019 and 2020? No. So this is the first row that we have. So even though we marked as extract header means we will get these column names. And but to get this 2020 and 2019, we need to do something additional, because the reason here is, in a usual table, usually on the top we have the column names and we indicate the table along with that. So by default it identifies the first row as the column names. So because in our case we don't have any column names over here, we have to indicate that in the first row we have some stuff that we need to extract. So what we need to do is, we need to create a row and specify that this is the row that we need to extract, and that has to be above this selection. So all you need to do is click on these three dots and select insert row above, and you will get a new row saying not extracted. So these columns or these rows we extracted from the table creation, but these, along with the table creation, we also need to specify from where you need to extract that. So we are not going to create any new tables, but we are going to indicate in that region of the table from where we need to extract it. So all you need to do is select this and indicate the region. So basically the first one is this particular area in the table. So I will select that region and click on these three dots, add extracted value. So that's our new custom selection. And do the same for current year and previous year. For current year, I will indicate this region, and I'm not taking the token, I will specify the area. and extract value, and we'll do the same for previous year. Custom area, extract value. Okay, so what this checkbox over here says, confirm that extracted row is reviewed. So we have reviewed it and we have already confirmed that. So I'll remove this, and we know that we have these values, and we'll select save and close now. And this is our table, and you can see within that table I have marked the custom row that we included, and this is going to be our selection for this document. So let's save it, and that's our template. So we'll see how this data is being extracted through the validation station that we have over here. So before doing the extraction, so we created the template. Now we need to configure the data extraction scope, saying the extractor to extract fields from Form 10K. So I need the company name and I need this table. So I will go to Form Extractor and select this so that it will select all the fields available in Form 10K and click on Save. Okay, so I will remove this form for temporary from here because we first need to focus on Form 10K. So I will take this out, place it somewhere over here, so that in the samples folder we have only Form 10K. And now I will run this, and let's see how our output looks like. And it's asking for the file path, so I will provide the samples folder so that it should only focus on the Form 10K. Okay, so we have the validation station open in my other screen. So it has identified it as Form 10K based on the fields that we provided. And as you see, it has identified the company name properly from the region we gave. And here comes the balance sheet. Select that. And as you see, the first row is what we added after creating the table. And as you can see, the headers are saying that this is the current year and the previous year. But based on our new row, we have extracted that current year is 2020 and the previous year is 2019. And starting from this row, we have the fields that we got extracted from the template of the table. So we have everything extracted. So if we scroll down, we can see how our rows that has manual or multiple rows, and those things have extracted perfectly in one particular row, as you see here. And this is the row that has a lot of lines. So it's successful. So that's how you create a template for a table, and that's how you custom add your columns or the fields that you need to extract inside a table template. and we'll select save and close so that the execution will successfully end. So we process one document. The next document is the form 4, where we need to extract few fields. So let's get back to Form Extractor, Manage Templates, and now I will put in my Form 4 inside this so that in the next round we can process both. And I'm going to create a new template just like earlier. This time it's Form 4 template, and for the document I'll be selecting Form 4, not changing anything over here, and just click on configure. So I'm just following the same steps and you get the same screen with the fields related to Form 4. So in this document we have only 2 pages, and just like I mentioned earlier, it's asking page 1 matching info and page 2. We don't see any other matching info fields because this document has only 2 pages. And in the second page we are not interested about any of this, and in the first page we are only focused on the name, the address, issue name, and these 2 dates. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all we need to provide the matching info. So I'll select Form 4 while pressing my control button. So I need to highlight uh, minimum 5 words. So I highlighted this section and clicking on plus. Now for reporting person name, I need to select this section. So I'm not interested in extracting name and address of reporting person. So I only need the name of that guy. So I will highlight only that portion from this. So again, as I explained earlier, the name can have multiple words. So I need to highlight the entire region, not tokens. So custom area, and I'll add it to person name, and this is the region. And coming to address, so here you can see the address, part of the address is on the top line, and this section refers to the street, and the line below refers to the city, state, and the zip code. So if we highlight this entire region, you can see that street is also getting captured. So when we run this in the extracted result, you will also see the street as the word. So we don't need the street, and we don't need to perform any string manipulations to remove the string word from the address, because the address might itself have the word street. So we have to extract these 2 sections separately. So how to do that is, so I'll select on person address, and first I will highlight only this section. So I will highlight the first line and provide the custom area and add it to person address. Now you can see another simple plus mark, and when you hover your mouse over it, it says select a value from the document to extract an additional value. So we can highlight this part of the address and add it as an additional value to this same uh, column that we are, or the same field that we need to extract. So I'm just going to highlight that section of the address and select custom area and click on this plus. So now you can see there are two fields for person address, and once you select this, it highlights the first part, and once you select the second one, it highlights the second part. So now you might wonder whether we will get two addresses for this. No, the extractor is intelligent enough to get the values from these two areas and combine it into one address. So we'll see how it looks like when we run this. So likewise, if you have any other fields, all you need to do is just combine those and it will get the value for you. So the issuer name is what we see over here, and I will highlight that region, custom error plus, and date of earliest transaction is this section, and that. So amendment date, we don't have a value there, but in some documents we might. So even though we don't have a value, we know that it's going to be here if there is any, and because of that I will highlight that region and add it to amendment date. So the relationship and insecurities, that I'm not worried for this part of the video. So that's for regex, because in the regex we will see how we can extract whether it's a director, officer, or something else based on where this X is placed. And in that same regex tutorial, we'll see how to use regex to extract data from a table. So that's for another episode. So in this section, these are the pages that we are looking at, and I'll click on save and continue. And now we have two templates. So click on close, get to RPA extractors, go to form 4, and in here I will specify what fields I'm going to extract through the form extractor. So I need the person name, address, issuer name, date, and the amendment date. The rest we'll look at later. And I'll click on save. So we have done the extraction, and now save it, and we'll see how our two documents looks like. So we already looked at one, but let's take a look at it again. Okay, so we have this, and I have the samples. Okay, so this is the first validation that we did from the form extractor. So we have already done this. So I'll just skip that for now. And this is our new document, the form 4. So as you see, it has identified it as form 4. And in the reporting person name, you can see it has extracted the the name perfectly. And let's take a look at our special case, the address. As you see, this is the address. And once you click on this expand thing, it will separate the address into address line 1, 2, 3, city, state, country, and zip code. So we have some additional information here in the extracted values. So based on the address, it has automatically identified that CA is the state California, and it's in United States, and the zip code is 94402 based on the value available in the document. So as you see, it's intelligent enough to do some little conversions to get the perfect output, even much better than what you see in the document. And for the issuer name, we have the value and the date. You can see the day, month, and year separately. And the amendment date, since it's not there, it has not extracted. And the rest, we didn't configure. So that's how you can create a template to extract data from different documents. So this form extractor cannot be used on documents that change time to time. So let's assume that this document has multiple rows. So for example, if we take this table, if this table is going to have 10 rows and sometimes 5 rows and sometimes 100 of rows, the form extractor will not work there because it will not know how many rows will be there, and we cannot build a template on top of that. But if the document is structured and it's not, the layout is not going to change, we can easily use the form extractor to specify this is where you need to look at to extract this field, and this is where you need to look at to extract this field, and likewise. So you might also have a concern if you get the same document as a native PDF, and if you get the same document as a scanned copy, will that affect? So basically all the keywords will be same, but you are getting the same document in two different formats. One is the digital version and one is the scanned version. So in that case, if you actually take the scanned version, it will slightly differ from the digital or the native PDF, because once you scan, it might not be fully straight, and depending on the way you scan, the exact position might not be the same. So it's always preferred for the best accuracy, use the same document in the same format when you are using the form extractor, because it will look into precise location to extract the value that you are looking for. So in that case, always try to use the same format to get whatever the value that you need. And if you are using scanned copies, try to find the best possible approach to deal with that, and try to find the best possible region to extract each and every value based on the different version of the copies that you get. So in the first time you might not get the proper exact uh, value that you're looking at, so you might need to tweak the template a little bit to fit in and get the best output. So you can easily do that. So let's close it. And if you want to edit the template, all you need to do is click on this edit, and it will open the already configured template, and you just need to resize or re-specify the region for that field. So let's assume that you need to realign this field. So select that field and just re-specify the region, something like that, and get here, change extracted value. Once you do that, your new region will be the latest. So likewise, you can keep on configuring it until you get the best possible output. So that's about the form extractor, and that's how you can configure the form extractor to create templates, to extract values from different locations and merge it into one field. And you can easily do that for any type of the document that does not change the layout. Um, so that comes to an so along with that we come to an end in this video about the form extractor, and in the next video we will take a look at how we can use the regex extractor to extract details from this document, what you see over here, and see how we can get the values based on where a certain character is placed in a document. And we will also see how easily or how we can extract values in a table even though the rows are dynamic. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. I hope this was helpful for you to understand the form extractor and its capabilities. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in another video.